Hi boys and girls, it's Shane. It takes a certain kind of person to be able to look past the mess and see the beauty in the space. I am actually almost finished with this. I know it doesn't look like it right now. I know it looks troublesome, but let's clean up and see how it looks. Looking past all the problems and being able to see something for what it really is underneath everything, I think is a skill a lot of us have lost. We're so used to seeing something after it's already been cleaned up. And very few of us ever worked on a project like this to know how bad it can get during the process. And so as a result, we just don't practice looking past things. And I think sometimes that carries on into other parts of our lives where we have trouble looking past the mistakes or the problems somebody might have to see what's really there underneath everything. Or sometimes it causes us to feel bad about the problems we see in ourselves because we look at the positive in other people or look in the completed project that is other people. You, if you will, compare your level 2 or level 3 character to somebody else's level 50 character. And that just doesn't make sense. We're in different areas of development in life or different stages of our life. And just because you're struggling right now doesn't mean that you're going to struggle forever. I mean, Colonel Sanders was a failure into his late 60s and finally decided to open a chicken restaurant. And now we have KFC. And he became a millionaire off of chicken. But before that, he was a very unhappy person who just felt like a failure. Don't always judge something by the way it looks in the beginning. Try to look past it at what it's going to look like when it's done. And as you work on something, you'll continue to see little glimmers of beauty, perhaps just little inklings before you really get to the finished product. Everything's become so digital. It's ones or it's zeros. It's right or it's wrong. We either complete the thing we're doing or we don't in a game or perhaps a spreadsheet or an email. It's just there or it's not there. There's no in between anymore. And I think the thing we lose when we don't have an in between is that ability to know how we're progressing as we go forward. We just feel like a failure till we succeed. We're always failing until we succeed, and that's not how life works. Success is a process of not quitting despite failing over and over and over again. You keep failing. You keep failing, you keep failing, you keep failing. Then boom, one day you've succeeded. But when you look back on it, it will have been a series of small steps that you took to finally get to success. From maybe everybody else's perspective, you just one day got lucky. You're just lucky. You just made it. But that's not really how it works. There's never been a person who just woke up one day and won the Super Bowl, or was the CEO of a billion-dollar company that had never put any effort into it at all. Oh, I just happened to accidentally woke up and won the Super Bowl. No, everybody has a process of going through it, and they win games, they lose games. They go through all that, and that's absolutely normal. But for some reason, so many of us set goals of never failing. Or some of us think that, oh, the success is for other people. I'll never be a success. On your way to that success, lots of people are going to question you and think, do you even know what you're doing? It's going to be a really common thing. In fact, I'd say the more successful path you're on, the more likely you are to have people tell you, are you sure about that? That seems like a bad idea. Nobody else is doing that. The Sci-fi house. We're close. This one should be available by the end of this month. We're so very close. I really like that planet right there. I think that's my favorite planet still. I like that one a lot. Now that's starting to look like something. Still got some work to do though. Another thing I sometimes see people do is come in after the fact and say, yeah, I could tell that was going to be great, when in reality they couldn't. Or assume that they see something fail and they want to go, I told you so, I knew you weren't going to succeed at that, and try to feel better about their own position. I don't know why people enjoy that. And I don't know that it's necessarily enjoying it as much as it makes people feel less bad about their own situation if they can see failure in others. Like, oh, that person failed, so my own failure isn't as bad. I don't know. I don't know where that comes from. There's probably some sort of evolutionary reason for that. If there's an evolutionary psychologist in the audience and wants to comment, I'd be curious what your take on it is. But I feel like so many people enjoy that aspect in a way that they really shouldn't. They want to watch the Jerry Springer. They want to see everything go to hell for somebody. But I would much rather see a person succeed myself. Looking better. This is with the lights off, just for emphasizing the black light effects. That one makes me happy. We also took the time to paint all the conduit so that it will glow, and the various electrical connections. And of course my $5 satellite dish. That's feeling a lot better than when we started. Still not done. I need some ideas for some 80s science fiction items I can put in here. I'm working on getting a flux capacitor. I've already got a proton pack, but what are some good sci-fi movies or props from the 80s that would be great in a science fiction themed Airbnb that would just really help you to think back and be nostalgic? If you got some good ideas, please let me know.